What's going on, trap enthusiast, and welcome back to our channel. And today I got an update on my most famous Traptrix Ragnaraika deck profile. It's been probably one of the best decks I've ever made, and many people loved it. So I'm gonna show you to update it to the new format post the threat of Rizal. And with all that said, let's get into the deck profile. Starting off with 3 Mormello. Mormello has been the OG 3-off of this deck, allowing you to search a trap hole on summon. Mainly is gonna be the Holy Thea, so you can extend very easily. And if you wanna know how, I left a link down below to a combo tutorial, so you learn all the ins and outs of the combo for this deck. And yeah, Mormello, not only that, it also pops a spell on special summon. A spell or trap on special summon, and that's absolutely amazing, especially for those back row matchups. But what's really best, the best normal summon for this build is the Mantis, because it's gonna search your Traptrix monster on summon, which is really good, because you want to search that Ragnaraika, and that Ragnaraika is gonna allow you to go full combo by link away the Mantis into a Sarah, then Ragnaraika effect, and that's full combo. And it can get to a very nasty board, as you're gonna see in the combo tutorial, if you decide to check. But keeping standard with also 3 Boudica. Boudica, it grabs your field spell on summon, which is really good as well. And it's not as great as the other Traptrix, as you need another Traptrix in hand to trigger your Sarah after you normal the Boudica. But it totally makes up for it because the field spell is very good. Many people forget it protects once for battle, and that's really great. But also it's our special summon effect, being a very nice type of removal, because Mormello removes spell and traps, and Boudica removes monsters by banishing them, and then your opponent special summons one of their banished monsters in the next standby phase. And to the card that I mentioned a few times is the Ragnaraika, you just need 2 of, because this card is a very bad normal summon. You never want to normal summon this card, it's really bad. And speaking about cards you don't really want to normal summon, is a Deonera. We only need the one Deonera for the grind game, and for the combo, in case we also open a trap to this card, like a float gate, trap hole. And yeah, you don't really want to open these 2, hence why this is a 1, this is a 2. If you get interrupted, yes, opening the Ragnaraika could be very game changing, but also it's the Holy Thea, and the Holy Thea is so much better. But mainly the Ragnaraika here is absolutely free of the Mantis, the full combo. But in case you want to normal it, you better hope you have an extender such as Holy Thea in hand. Or you can you can end up on a Sarah, and then 1 or 2 back row, and then a bunch of hand traps, which is really good, because again this deck plays quite a lot of hand traps. And let's move on from the Traptrix to the Ragnaraikas with the 1 seed. You only need 1, you don't need more than 1. There's way to special summon the seed very easily with Jasmine in the extra deck, so stay tuned to see the extra deck to see all the spicy details. But yeah, you only need 1 seed. Seed is very bad to open, as you kind of want your hand to play with, and you don't really want to start banishing cards, even though you can special summon them back and so on. But you don't really want to do that. You just want the 1 seed for the combo. And for more extenders, we have the Wicked Butterfly to help to extend, and it gives us draws in the end phase, which could be very nice, since we play so many hand traps. We want to draw into our hand traps, and most of the time this is gonna be draw 2, could also be a draw 1, but it's probably gonna be a draw 2, which that can be really nice, both upgrade in end phase and also an extender in hand. More extenders is the Armored Lizard. Again, another Ragnaraika that can be used as an extender. The only reason we run 1 is because it does not do anything by itself. We need the other cards to extend from. This is not a starter. And quite a similar idea goes from Beetle. Only 1. These cards always gonna recur themselves back and back and back and back. So you only need 1. They banish themselves, they shuffle back, The continuous spell summons them from the banished and all that, searches them from the deck. You only need one of each really. And opening them is also quite nice because again they can act as quite good extenders by banishing something to summon or by returning a banished card to summon. And that's really great for extension plays if you get hand trapped in really awkward places, which you did many times because I've been playing this deck for so long, and there are many ways to play around hand traps, which is quite good, especially in such a hand trap heavy format. Speaking about hand traps, we run a bunch of hand traps of our own, starting off with 3 Ash. Yes, is that cursed artwork? What can I say, this deck's artwork is already cursed enough and I'm just making them more cursed with the feet Ash. I know, quite very simple. But yeah, Ash, self-explanatory, best hand trap in the game. And next up we have Nibiru. Yes, going first and drawing to Nibiru kinda sucks, but it's okay because we have so many ways to get our guys back from the grave and banished. It's quite nice. We really, if everything goes bad, we have a Nibiru, boom, we slam the Nibiru, opponent passes turn, and then with just one card we build our entire board back up, as long as we have the cards left in the grave or banished. And that's absolutely handy. And yeah, Nibiru is just really good this format again, because most of the decks such as Ryzil and Malice do not put up monster gates. The days of Appaloosa are gone. There's nothing unless they play smart and they make a Caesar, so they force the Nib. If they play the Fiendsmith variant, that is, which some people do not. But yeah, just Nib them, and Nib trades really good. Especially that we can use the body to link summon. And then 2 Veilers. Veiler is also a really good hand trap this format. It stops that annoying duo drive from resolving, allowing your Ryzil opponent to go full combo. And there are many ways in this deck we can stop the duo drive from resolving, such as the Ash, the Veiler, the Imperm even. Yeah, we go even more hand traps to stop the duo drive. Self-explanatory. This is also a trap, so it's not a hand trap as in a monster sense, it's a hand trap in the hand trap sense. And that's really good because we want to have our traps trigger our Serra and discard of Boudica, of Holitea, I mean. And speaking about more traps that we can use as hand traps, Dominus Purge, extremely underrated this format. I feel like I basically set the Traptrix meta with my past deck profile, talking about Dominus Purge and how I abuse Dominus Purge to win and top the WCQ. And yeah, that was a very nice moment. And yes, Dominus Purge is very good. This is quite underrated. Many people forgot about it as it locks you from darks, and that's one of the best attributes really. But in our decks we don't really care. We have like 1 dark in main deck, and that's Armor Lizard, so it's not that important. And again, if you set it first, you do not get lock out of anything, so that's quite nice. Again, trigger Serra, and most of the time we are gonna have spells in the graveyard, so if you get to set our Dominus Purge, it's always gonna be negate, a search, and destroy that card, and absolutely busted, especially if I have 1 Serra on field. And speaking of more busted traps, evenly matched. With so many traps, good luck to our opponent to put an Omnigate on the field, and if they do, evenly at least is gonna trade for it, or if you go first, is discard fodder for Holitea. It's very easy discard fodder, and it always has that chance of absolutely wrecking your opponent and let you win go second, which is really good. I know Malice does put that annoying fusion in the graveyard that it can banish to negate the spell on trap, but hopefully you're gonna open other hand traps as well, so they're not gonna get to send that. They are not gonna go mega full combo and just absolutely make an insane board. Hopefully you're gonna stop them with the other hand traps, but even so, at least they release trades, I guess. And also, not to mention, it's really good against Ryzil. Then stab the 3 Holitea for more traps. Holitea, mentioned her so many times. one of the best cards in this deck, allowing you to extend and trigger Zero on your own turn, going first, most importantly, and getting your body on field as well. Absolutely amazing. And not only that, her effect to banish yourself from grave and special summon a Traptrix always comes in handy. You can special summon those Mormello to pull the traps, special summon those Pudikas to banish a monster. That's absolutely crazy. And sometimes people forget about it and you just go Holy Tie affecting grave and they get confused. And yeah, this is great. This entire deck is quite great. And if you think so too, please leave a like and share or leave a comment saying how great it is. I really appreciate it. I read every comment and I appreciate every like the video gets. And again, if you got this far, thank you for watching, and let's continue on. Next up, with the one Float Gate and the one Gravediggers, these are only trap holes we need. Because you see, our Sarah, even though she only sets trap holes, it's fine because you know, we're always gonna set up Politea most of the time, so you know, we don't only need one or two twos of Sarah when we don't want the Politea, and that's gonna always be the Float Gate works really well this format, as you know, your opponent can link into their Malice cards or Xyz into their Rizal cards. And Gravedigger Trap Hole is also good this format. It stops Fiend's Meat really well, which that's quite crazy, and also burns your opponent for 2k, helping you to kill your opponent faster. But also, if you fear Neeb, you can very easily make that. I completely forgot the name right now. Let's see. Will I remember in a second? Oh, it's the Rafflesia. Yeah, that was the name. There are so many hard names, it's quite really hard to pronounce. So if any other of you have this problem, please let me know, so I'm not the only one that's struggling to remember all these names. But yeah, we can go into Rafflesia and then be Nibiru proof the entire way through. With our Grave Trap Hole, which something goes Razil kind of does sometimes. It depends what your opponent wants, really. Not many people do it now, but I know at first they did. Ragnaraika Hunting Tanks to round out the traps. This is free interruption. Like, it's crazy. This card crazy. You can even recycle it off seed. Even more crazy. Because you see, you're always gonna basically have a pop 2, because you're gonna have an insect and a plant on the field basically almost all the time. So you're gonna pop 2, and that's really great. Triggers Sarah, and again, it's free because during the combo is basically free. Mantis Monk banishes 2, and that's like nothing if you get that far into the combo. And such as the Hunting Dance, and then Hunting Dance also has a very nice grave effect, where if one of your monsters is destroyed, you can banish it and then destroy one of your opponent's monsters, which is really nice, because then when it's banished, you can recycle it with seed. And now let's move on to the spells. I know it's quite cursed if you're a fan of the channel to see the spells highlighted at the last. Usually leave the traps for here, but this is such a trap heavy deck, you know, you kind of have to pull the traps hand. But yeah, it's just the one Garden. It's really good. It's free of Pudica. The one Bloom, this card's crazy. Like, this card is actually crazy. Like, it reads custom, guys. It's not an activation. You can do it once per turn, yeah, but it's once per turn during every turn. Just either searches your Ragnaraika or special summons one from the banished or graveyard, which is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. This card's custom, and not only that, on top of all of this, it has an effect to boost your monster's attack. What? The Ragnaraika cards are already so big, like the Stag is 3/3, and it's crazy, it gets even bigger. And for some extra consistency, I'm running one Prosperity. You know, our extra deck is quite tight, so most of the time you're not gonna Prosperity for 6 unless you're very desperate, really. But most of the time you're gonna Prosperity for 3, because this deck is very consistent with all the ratios. It's quite hard to break, but if you do, the both of Prosperity is there to help you. And not only that, sometimes you really wanna Prosperity for that evenly matched going second. I know Robin still has scars for it. My 6th excavation of prosperity was an evenly match, and he was on rescue ace back when, and I ashed the OSS so he cannot get the omnis, and then I just evaluate him for good, and just full combo, and that was very funny. Pretty sure he still has scars from it. And to round up the main deck, one Called by the Grave. We really hate that shifter. Well, kind of hate that shifter. We can still have boards to play around the shifter with the one Sarah set. Also same goes for the Mulchamis. You're only gonna give your opponent one draw basically with both of the Mulchamis, and that's quite good. Especially that some decks really don't put up any form of interruption on their Mulchamis, but you can. Sarah, some cards pass. Control with hand traps, control with back row. There we go. That's it. And playing your opponent's turn with the Sarah. And Sarah, it's gonna even be even more interruption really, and then it's gonna set you the Holy Tea for that follow-up. But yeah, just go by. It's just there because again, it kind of hurts. It still hurts, so it's better to be able to open the call by and not pray to the gods that your opponent just never has never has the shifter or the Mulchami. Also, it's quite good because maybe in some hands getting Ash really hurt, and that's where you get saved. So let's move on to the extra deck now with a 2 Sarah. You only 2. The extra deck is quite tight. Yes, this card is signed. Only the true legend knows who signed this. But if you have any clues or any ideas, leave them down in the comment if you know who signed this Sarah. And I'll let you know. I'll give you a virtual cookie. That will do. But yeah, Sarah, self-respiratory. Scratch crazy Link 1. Yeah, absolutely crazy. This deck really deserves a Link 1, and my god, they get probably. This is the best Link 1 ever. So, thank god it's so focused into Traptrix. And it's not really that generic. It's not generic at all. Except the fact that it sets any trap. It only sets trap. What am I even talking about? So thank god Konami used 100% of their brain, and they realized, man, if you make such a card this powerful, it better be locked into that archetype for good. But yeah, that's it. Really, Sarah is broken. Remember. And you can even recycle them. But yeah, to start off the Ragnaraika engine, we got the 1 Skeleton Soldier. This card is absolutely busted, being able to revive 1 Ragnaraika every turn, really. It's once per turn, summons Ragnaraika, and that's absolutely crazy. And you just free link bodies to clip link climbing. And obviously in the grind game, you can all of them had the same effect: to return face up plant, reptile, or insect on the field to the bottom of the deck and summon themselves. And again, that's absolutely broken because these guys are big, especially if you have the bloom on the field. They are even bigger, and they don't summon with their effects negated, most importantly. And you can just keep using their effects to rebuild your board and all that. Something that also you can keep doing if your opponent has a very heavy back row. It's a very heavy back row user. You can go into the Selene Sapper, going second to pop the back row. This card is very nice. It's a Link 3, sadly. I was hoping it would be a Link 2, but no. Konami wanted to make our Spell and Trap Popper a Link 3. If only it was a Link to a Skeleton Soldier, but at least we can go Skeleton Soldier, effect to revive 1, go into Sapper, and then Sapper banish and then destroy. But maybe we go first. We want to go into our Mantis Monk, and we don't need to pop back row going first, so we're gonna go Mantis Monk, banish 2 instead. Basically the same as Sapper, but Sapper pops back row, but the Mantis Monk is gonna search you the hunting lance, which is really good. And now let's go to rank 4, which is gonna be our Chain Coils. It's really weird matchup. It's very matchup dependent. That's all I'm gonna say. It's very matchup dependent. because your opponent is not a blanketed negate, go first, blah blah. Your opponent needs to use an effect first in hand, and then you get to negate all the monsters effects in hand for the rest of the turn. Obviously, this cooks a few matchups, like absolutely, it's an auto win against some matchups, but not all. And instead of that, we go into a beautiful Stag Sovereign, which is really good against any matchup. As when your opponent special summons from the deck or extra deck, boom, target two monsters on the field, pop them. Crazy. Not only that, this guy is huge, 3/3. With Bloom is even bigger, so he can OTK very easily, which was always a problem with Traptrix. All of the Traptrix monsters were kind of small, and you can't really OTK them, but that's where the Ragnaraka cards come in, and they just OTK everything. They run over everything. Good luck getting over the Stag. And next we get some no Ragnaraka links in the form of Bang Lancer. This card is crazy, it's a bounce, and it comes back from the grave basically once, because you're gonna run out of materials to banish. And some materials that you can always banish to summon the Bang Lancer is the Jasmine. Jasmine is really there just for that turn 1 setup. This is the card you're gonna use to go into Bloom. And tribute 1, which I'm gonna show you in a second what you always gonna tribute to get even more advantage. Unless you already watched the combo video, that is. But yeah, next up we go SP. And I already hear you guys, Customers, what are you doing? You are running a dark monster and per Dominus Purge at the same time. Guess it's fine, you're not always gonna open the Dominus Purge, right? And even if you do, sometimes you're gonna go first and you're gonna set it first. So, having the SP there always is good. SP is such a broken card, especially that you have Link 1 in the form of Sarah, so basically 1 Traptrix and any other monster turns into SP that can banish or summon. That's absolutely crazy. SP is just too good of a card not to include. Even though sometimes, yes, you're gonna get yourself locked out of dark effects, but that's fine. Because other times when you're gonna get to summon, the SP is broken. And with that all said, let's move on to the traps, to the Xyz. In the form of Ragnaraka Queen, has a nice, get you back a monster from grave, I guess, yay. But what are we really here for is because the good old combo of Jasmine tributing the Ragnaraka Queen and summon the Seed, and then on the resolution you're gonna have the Seed effect and the Ragnaraka Queen effect to summon the Hyperion, which Hyperion can turn into a monster negate on the spot. And obviously even in trap negates it can easily turn into, if you're using a trap on your turn, on the follow-up, you're gonna hold it there and then get a trap negate, because you're gonna get a trap from the grave, and that's really nice. Spells, you're not gonna really have a spell negate that much, really, sadly, because we barely learn any spells at all. If you prosperity to get into your combo, yes, you are gonna get a spell negate, and that's because when you activate the Bloom, you are gonna have the I spoke quite a lot, huh? This video has been on for 23 minutes, huh? Well, let's try to finish up as soon as possible. Maybe you guys are bored. But yeah, prosperity to go into your full combo. You have the prosperity grave when you activate your Bloom, and that's where you can use the Hyperion to attach the prosperity and have a spell negate. Next up, we have the one Rafflesia. Again, I spoke about this card quite a lot when I talked about Gravedigger's Trap Hole. And next up, we have the one Pingicula, which is very underrated. Many people forget about her effect, that when a monster is sent to the grave or banished by a card effect, you get to suck it, and then she becomes immune to whatever that type is, and that's absolutely broken. But mainly she's there because in some hands she's a generic land force. We can use the one Ragnaraika. We can use Armor Lizard. It's a 4 butterfly and another Traptrix. Maybe gets negated, or you don't have the Holy Thea, and that's where you can go into Pingicula. Pingicula is gonna search your Ragnaraka, and then you link off the Pingicula into a Serra and the Ragnaraka, and that's full combo. Which I'm pretty sure I also talked about in the combo tutorial. And yeah, just crazy. What can I say? And what can I say except the tired Bagushka? Definitely not drunk, really. Just tired. You know, is there maybe in some cases you get mega hand trap, like absolutely mega hand trap to the turn where you really only have 2 bodies on the field and that's it? Well, make Bagushka pass. There we go. Wizard of the issue. And that's it for the extra deck, so let's move on to the last part of this video, which is the side deck, which, if you know me, I always say this is mainly locals dependent, or maybe if you go to a big tournament, yeah, then you go meta pick. And for my meta picks, I have the 3 Purulia, so good in so many matchups, like it's draw, and we have so many hand traps in this build that the Purulia is really good to draw, and you know, not that we're drawing to combos, you know, we also have 1-card combos, what can I say, and extenders for if we get that 1-card combos negated, you know, maybe like Snake Eyes, or you know, Snake Eyes is not really a thing anymore since the OSS ban, so I don't know, maybe like Ryzel, but this is better than Ryzel, right guys? But yeah, that's it really. Cooks Ryzel, by the way. And next up we have 3 Lancia, 2 Cook, the viruses that are Malice. Just there for Malice really. You could run Sanctum and use Serra to save the Sanctum going first. I, however, do not run 1 Sanctum, but you could, because you know, instead of this 1 nib, you could this could definitely be 1 Sanctum to set up Serra and get Lancia going first. That is definitely a really good idea. I just needed more cards going second against Ryzel and Malice, and Nibiru is very good. Against Malice, you get the Lancia and the 3 Nibirus, which is crazy. And again, Ryzel going first, we're gonna see, but also going second against Ryzel, we have the Book of Eclipse. Very good against Ryzel, what can I say? This card is definitely not underrated at all, because many people play it, and it's also been in my past deck profiles recently, so you should be quite familiar with this card by now. And next up we also have the 3 D-Bears. What can I say? Trigger Serra. Serra can set D-Bear. Why do I keep saying Serra can set D-Bear? I keep thinking about I play too much Labyrinth. I actually play too much Labyrinth, guys. I just keep thinking lovely set any trap, and there's just automatically assume me to Serra as well. No, it does not set any trap, right? I just play too much lab. Let's not elaborate on that. Secret for later. 1 anti-spell. There we go. And then 1 cowboy for game. And with all that said, I'm gonna quickly leave, and Casus signing out. Thanks for watching.